welcome to a gameplay video for the Hunter build. Now the Hunter is a funny sort of character. He can use guns and melee to kill his enemies. The main thing you sort of want to watch out for though is, how do you say it? He's not as good with his guns as the sniper, and maybe not as good at meleeing as the ninja. But still pretty good if you can assassinate that dude when he's virtually full health. He's still pretty handy. When I sniped that dude before, the damage was about half of what you get playing as the sniper build with the B shield equipped. Of course we're not running B shield on this one, you've got to choose one or the other. In this case I've chosen to run with the Roid shield because when things get up close, it's the Roid shield that will keep me alive. The Law and Order is what I'm using. It's a great combination. The pistol does enough damage to wear enemies down so that I can assassinate them, while the Order gives me the Roid damage and also enough healing to stay alive when I'm getting smashed by things like rapid skags and whatnot. Where's your face? Show me your face. Oh, right, so stop moving. Doesn't matter much anyway. Now Zero does not deal any damage when you shoot things in the body, but when you get those crits, you can see absolute skyrockets for damage. Get them low enough, you'll be able to execute them. Shoot something, it increases your melee damage. Melee something, it increases your bullet damage. You're not going to get too much benefit from the bullet damage, really. Not if you're playing it the way I'm playing it. They used to run it with a shotgun, so that you would shoot the shotgun, melee them, and use the shotgun again. And that would take out most enemies, but I'm finding that's not viable at the higher levels anymore. The shotguns just aren't doing enough damage to keep up with things. Oops, watch out for that exploding mineral. Those Chrysalis, if you don't know, are vulnerable to melee damage. Of course, you need to be able to deal enough melee damage for that to matter. There's a little skill as well. That shing noise that you're hearing when I take damage, it's called Counter Strike. What it does is it increases my melee damage by quite a lot when it activates. It has a chance to activate when I take damage, and it'll increase my damage by a fair chunk. It's really good for helping you wear down enemies low enough to assassinate them, especially if you've got a rapid skag or something that's leaping at you. You don't really have much of a breather between those attacks. So that was the melee damage of Counter Strike, and that's the normal melee damage. So another one. Jumping down to us. You, eh? Missed. Should jump down if I come over this side, I think. Rather than ping at him forever. First shot fired from a fully loaded mag does more damage. After that first kill, killer activates, increasing your critical hit damage of further shots. Oh, got another one. Unfortunately, that execute shot on those guys won't deal too much. But it does mean you can kill him before blowing his legs up completely usually. When using deception, again, doesn't matter if it's a gun or a melee attack, wait until deception is almost expired to deal more damage. So for instance, you see that bar down the bottom that's loading up there. If you wait till it hits the end before you shoot, you'll deal significantly more damage. And likewise, if it was a melee attack, you'll deal up to 600% more melee damage waiting till the end. With the gun damage, maximum of 200% gun damage and 250% critical hit damage. So both of those together if you do things really well. Hunter's been a bit of a fun class because you can alternate between guns and sniping depending on what you feel like at the time. I do tend to prefer to get the kills with the gun damage if I can. So I mean, I might be better off running as a B-shield, but the thing is that would make my melee virtually useless. So I'm still going to stick to using the roid damage. So that when things get in close enough, Law and Order, I've got something that will heal me to keep me alive. And if I wait until my shields are broken before I use deception, that means my deception will be more effective. Some people will use a lightning bolt to potentially break their own shields. I try to get a lightning bolt that does just a little bit less damage than, or just enough damage to break your shields without hurting your health too much. That's what you would be aiming for. Alright, now a bit below half, so I just got to be a little bit careful here.
Hilarious. You just set off my trap card. Your death approaches.
Don't have to worry about swapping weapons for this build because you're not going to lose sniper stacks anyway. Oh, hello. Cursed pirate. We can assassinate him quite easily. Just make him run past you. Put some things into his back. Oh, unfortunately he turned around right as I tried to get him, but that's okay. Finish him off anyway. Spamming those shots just means you get some rising shot damage out of them.
Your eyes deceive you. An illusion fools you all. I move for the kill.
That's where that Law and Order combo can be really handy. That pistol does enough damage for it to be useful. You do want to avoid going into fight for your life with this build though. It can be challenging to get yourself back up once you fall down.
A ghost amidst the combat, preparing
Try
to
and
strike.
execute this guy. These guys seem to have lost where I was just then.
The true world revealed. Weaknesses now known to me.
Around, get that guy that I marked in the back. Won't have enough time to execute him as well, but that's alright. That'll work.
Badass approaching.
Pretty much have blades on all my weapons. So if something does get in close and it's low and I'm sniping, I can still just melee it for that extra damage.
Throwing grenade. How hilarious. You just
Whenever I'm low, I do
sound
try
like
to
Vanguard.
use
Your
the
death approaches.
law just to get the health back. If you can keep your health topped up, you're less likely to die. So use it to your advantage. Here I'm gonna try and take out the easy guys first.
Your eyes deceive you. An illusion fools you.
He's a guy that actually has a fair bit of health on him. So I'm just thinking about how I'm gonna take him out here. Because he's also really hard to crit. I think I'm probably better off taking care of the long guy first, but we'll go for him. You know what? That worked out pretty good. I'm gonna step onto that kid. No, I was trying to break my shield so I could get the roid damage, but it didn't happen.
Enjoy that.
Just gotta follow it up the best you can.
The true world revealed. Weakness is now known to me. Time to go to work.
Once you've dove in there, if you start taking damage like that, you just gotta commit as best you can.
Your eyes deceive you. An illusion fools you all. I move for the kill.
Throw some pistol shots in there to increase your melee damage. He's probably gonna get me, but he's reloading. Nah, still got me. Alright, so this is where it's a little bit more challenging to get yourself up. My best chance here is to snipe.
I am ready.
Something is meleeing me even though it's not visible. Damn it.
How hilarious.
I would have just dashed in there if I didn't accidentally
Your
push that.
death approaches. I disappear. I vanish.
Just watch those magic missiles. Don't dive in there before they've all finished exploding. Throw bullets up. Just moving around a little bit means that you won't take your melee hits too quickly, because yeah, you don't want to receive more damage quicker than, or too much damage before you can melee to get that health back. So that's it. That's the hunter build. You can see it in action, you can see it can snipe, it can melee. It's, again, it's probably not as good as being able to totally invest in one or the other, but a bit of fun being able to alternate between the two depending on what you feel like. So it gives you some choice. Give it a go, see if you like it. As always, I hope you have fun.